Hello, everyone. I'm back now. Again, like I ate. It's good. It was good. I have some things I have to say because, like, I know that this whole township, Old Bridge, and the state of New Jersey, the higher ups and the lower downs, which they all are lower down, are in on this, and they know Michael. They know Michael and I are supposed to be together. And they tried all they could try and everything, but now um, they try to stop me from my inheritance, but they try to stop me from physical inheritance. Okay, but they didn't understand that my spiritual inheritance is my dad, which I inherit in this body. Now that is he's the shot caller. He's the big baller. He's the one that makes the shots. He's the one that is making this body sit on a throne, along with um, along with the king. I'm the queen. Michael's the king, and we are to be one running this thing. And I know, there are terrible things that was done to me. I know that when I went to the last 3 hots in the cot, uh, there were some things done. And everybody who had a part to play in that will feel and be put through the things that was done to me physically, but they will sense it spiritually. All those terrible things, all the anguish, including the women who was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. In the scriptures it says something like raise her high, like raise it, like if they were like putting a noose or hanging me or whatever they did with that, let them do with my body. They were cheering each other on, like they were cheering it on, and it's terrible. It's terrible, but I'm still alive. And Dad was shocked. I mean, Dad shook and shocked everybody. I don't know if they threw me out of planes. I have no idea. I have no idea what. I could only think, because his cousin Joe showed me something about an airplane and what he does or whatever. And he was looking at me like as if to say, like, does she remember being thrown out of an airplane, or they were, or something like that. I'm not saying that I was thrown out. Maybe I was. I don't know. With or without a parachute. I don't know. My dad put me to sleep and he let them have my body. And they did whatever they did to it. And all these demons are going to pay. Joe, his family, his daughters, his wife, everybody's going to pay. Everybody, Desi, everybody is going to pay. Everyone that were friends with Richard is going to pay. Every business, every business, every doctor, every dentist, everybody who hooked up with this man, you guys are going to pay heavily. And that's what Moab, that was what I read in Ezekiel 16. That's going to have to pay with their lives and the lives of their children. And knowing that, just knowing that you're looking at your child, no matter how old they are, knowing that their demise is soon to come, and then yours, because that is going to wait. So I'm placed where I'm supposed to be placed. Michael and I are placed where we're going to be placed. And then he's going to kill off those of you who were eating popcorn in the bed on the couch watching. Oh, she's leaving the house. Oh, okay, yeah. We'll go there and we'll take all the lemon cake and we'll do this and we'll do that and we'll just make her life a living hell. I had to go through all of that, but I had God with me. That's what made it possible for me. He's the one who made it possible for me to survive. And that's what irritated them more, because they knew only by God I'm still alive. And for that man to sit there and wish bad on the wife that gave him 4 beautiful children, that is pure evil. Now, I'm not making any excuse for him, because a lot of you men who came against me had procreated with witches. God did not bring you together with her. You brought yourself together with her on the websites and the stuff that you weren't supposed to be doing. Swiping left, swiping right. I don't even know those dating websites, because to me, I was a married woman settling down, trying to get my dad to deliver my husband, Richard, from evil. Like, I literally thought he was mad, like, about, the things of the world. That's why we weren't together. But now I know that he was mad because I wasn't dead yet. Wow. And how many years? Wow. Whew. How many years? And he put my children in harm's way. His own children. My dad is going to wake him up, and he's not going to believe the things that he did. Look at his kids' faces and see that I was trying to kill your mom. I was a part of a group of people that were trying to kill your mom. And yet he still goes to his mama's house. And she was in on it too. And his sister. So therefore he was trying to take his own life. He was suicidal. The whole world was suicidal, trying to come against the child of God. I'm telling you that I'm hearing from God. My father showed you that she's hearing from me, and that infuriated them. And Paul tried to make it like it was him in the Bible. Man, as, oh, Paul, he's the best. Yeah. And Stephen, he's the best. It was me the whole time. During my whole ministering on the earth. Those people who are persecuted and persecuted and stoned. It's just one person. Me. Love. Because man is a fear of death. Men are fear of death. Adam in the garden was like, because he knew that death was going to come to him. Cain was like, they're going to kill me. And he said, I'll put a mark on your forehead so no man touch you. And he's Cain. I try to tell that man over and over again. But through him, because of him, Jacob's kids get to live. Because of my love for Michael, some of Judah will get to live. Some of Judah's men, black men, will get to live. Some of the women, the black women, will get to live. But they will lose a lot of their sons and daughters. Because they're stiff-necked and rebellious. The witchcraft is now being. It's just starting to... people, that is really going to show people exactly what they've been doing. And that's terrifying. And that's why I had to confess all the things that I thought Dad brought to my remembrance that I did in this body. Because I was afraid to confess. But I confessed before the world those things, and now I know they were wrong. Okay? So, people need to confess. If I can do it, I had to do it. Not knowing that I wasn't guilty, I did this thinking that I was guilty of sinning against my dad. And my dad said, you never sinned against me. I had to make you sin for the human beings. But if I confessed all of my deep, darkest secrets in my heart that I did, that I could remember before the world, so you guys could judge me. If I had to do that, right? Since I had to do that, you don't think that my dad is going to let you not do that too before him in the spirit, and say and admit to all of the dirt and the foul stuff before, especially these guys before the congregations, because as many followers that you have, you are accountable for those followers, no matter what. Especially if you're using my holy scriptures in your videos. You want to put everybody else's mess out there and not your own. So since you don't want to put everybody else's mess out there, my Father is going to put it out there for you. And not necessarily you're going to make it into, you're going to live after I am put on my throne. So when you judge righteous judgment. And you guys are not qualified to judge righteous judgment because there's no righteousness in you. My angels are quiet. They're like, They see somebody doing something, it's just like, We're pretty quiet because they know that they've been a part of it before once in their lives. They don't think that they're holy. They know that, we're all falling short of God's glory love. So, it's time to go to jail. And now, see, December 31st, all the evidence was in. All the evidence of what everybody was doing that was connected to me is in. And now when you go into court, there is no corrupt judges. My dad said, I'm going to put right judges, good judges in the courts as at the first, as at the beginning. They're not going to be able to be paid off. You're going to be hitting the phone like, I could get me out of it. I could get this guy out. I got this lawyer. Because there will be no more corrupt lawyers. They're going to be like, Mr. So-and-so and Mrs. So-and-so, this is you. We have you on tape. We had recorded your voice. This is your voice. This is you. This is your address. This is your cell phone number. And we can hear you saying, yeah, follow her there. Put that in her food. Yeah. Pay him this amount of money to have her killed. Yeah. And there ain't going to be no judges that are going to sit there and be paid off. They want blood. These judges are my judges that are going to be sitting on the 12 thrones, on their chairs of judgment for love, for me. Those sentences, like my father said, they're going to judge the 12 tribes of Judah, meaning the people of the human beings. Don't you know that you'll be judges of the angels? They're not going to be moved by your crying and your... The evidence was in December 31st, 12 o'clock. Is that your final answer? Yes, Your Honor, I'm not guilty. All right. When they know they got all the evidence, my father has all the evidence against everybody. Not only you going to get the physical imprisonment, that spiritual imprisonment is worse. And then death. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Unless you bless me and do right by me and let me go. Leave me alone. When I need something done, yes, ma'am. Obey. When I want something done, yes, ma'am. Obey. You don't want to obey, then that means you still want to play. And my dad is all for the game. the Game of Thrones. You guys like watching the Game of Thrones, Hunger Games, because y'all gonna be hungry. Hungry for freedom from the mental, spiritual, and physical prisons a lot of you guys are going to. And you better hope that your cellmate eat Bubba. But most likely, you'll be in there with Bubba, who has the same mean, demonic spirit that you had when you came across me. And you crossed me and you betrayed me. Betrayed me. When you hated me, slandered me. And I told you before I was taken to the 3 Hot Chicken, you guys, you better repent. And if you said something bad about me, word, thought, or deed, it's time to repent and cry out for mercy. But now, there's a spin. You cry out for mercy in my name. My name is love. Jesus ain't coming for you. He don't exist. This is not a game. Game is over. It's a love thing. It's a love thing. And nobody better not touch my love, Michael. You better not touch him. You better not touch him. You better not open your mouth against him. You better not think bad about him. You better not speak bad about him. You better not think bad about him. And you better not touch him. You better bless him and thank God that he's going to be your king. Because Richie would have all of y'all killed. He would have had the whole world destroyed. Because he was trying to kill your very Lord. He was trying to kill love. But there ain't no way Dad's going to... Come on. You can't take Dad's spirit and my father's spirit and say, no, we don't want her to be... I helped create it. Fools. 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 So, this love affair is real. This love between me and Michael is real. And the longer you guys keep us from coming together, the stronger my father's hand is going to be on your necks. God did not create death. Do not bring on your own death by sinful actions. God did not invent death, and when living creatures die, when human beings die, it grieves me. to no pleasure. She created everything so that it might continue to exist. Me and my Father, created everything so it may continue to exist. And everything we created is wholesome and good. There is no deadly poison in them. No, death does not rule this world. For God's justice does not die. Ungodly people have brought death on themselves by the things they have said and done. They yearn for death as if it were a lover. They have gone into partnership with death, and it is just what they deserve. Wisdom chapter 1, verse 12 through 16. They yearn for death as if it were a lover. They have gone into partnership with death, and it is just what they deserve. Ungodly people have brought death on themselves by the things they have said and done. Wisdom. I am a spirit that is friendly to people, and I will not forgive anyone who speaks against my Father in heaven. For God knows your thoughts and your feelings and hears every word. Since love's spirit and my God's spirit, my dad's spirit, fills the entire world and holds everything in it together, I know every word that people say. No one who speaks wickedly will escape notice. Sooner or later, he or she will receive just punishment. The intentions of ungodly people will be closely examined. Their words will be reported to the Lord, to my Father. And then they will get the punishment that their wickedness deserves. So, everything that you guys have done in the dark, my dad reports to me in my spirit and confirms it by the angel that he sends that speak. The sinners, they speak. The regular schmegular, not the churchgoers, those ones that, Jesus sat with the sinners. They tell everything. They tell it like it is, whether they're cursing or not. That makes them, okay? Okay, will be reported to love. Then they will get the punishment that their wickedness deserves. God will tolerate no challenge. He ain't going to challenge. My dad is not going to be challenged. Which they try to do. They try to challenge you, Dad, for real. And since my Father, hears everything, you cannot hide your complaining from him or your slander or your words. So be sure that you do not go around complaining. You guys are complaining that, she gonna be ruler. Look at her. Look at her nose. Look at her lips. Look at her face. Look at her clothes. Look at her. Still talking. You talk that talk, be ready to walk that walk. Because Dad is like, he going to walk you and shellac you and walk you like a dog. He is going to rub you guys' faces in every word that you spoke against me and my children. Everything that you did against me and my children. It does no good. And don't engage in bitter talk. The most secret things that you say will have their consequences, and lying will destroy your soul. So, when I was out, you guys went to court. My so-called friends sat there, lied on me in court, and said, yeah, she's crazy, she's this, and we got evidence of her. There ain't going to be no judges paid off here. They're not going to pay. They're going to be like, are you sure? Are you sure about that? Because we have this and this and this. Lock him up. They ain't even going to waste time jury duty or nothing. All the evidence is in. December 31st, 12 o'clock. Yeah. Okay, I have to read this here. A question about, they say, Jesus' authority. One day when Jesus was in the temple teaching the people and teaching the people and preaching the good news, the truth, the chief priests and the teachers of the law, the chief priests and the teachers of the law, together with the elders, came and said to Jesus, "Tell us, what right do you have to do these things? Who gave you such right?" And Jesus answered them, "Now let me ask you a question. Tell me, did John's right to baptize come from God or from human?" They started to argue among themselves. What shall we say? Dumb men. What should we say? If we say from God, he will say, "Why then did you not believe John?" But if we say from human beings, this whole but if we say from human beings, this whole crowd here will stone us because they are convinced that John was a prophet. So they answered, "We don't know where it came from." And Jesus said to them, "Neither will I tell you. Then, by what right do I do these things?" These men, who gave her the authority? Who gave her the power? What makes you think she can be authority over my dad? And I don't have to tell you these things. But my dad's like, tell him, let him know. Let them know. So I'm just here to let you know. I'm going to stop my video right here. I'll see you on the next one. Mwah.